So just a couple of cards to kind of tap into the energy. Probably like 10 minutes-ish. Energy of this full moon. Any guidance around where to keep our focus over the next few days. Okay. So, the first card that came out was Three of Earth. So, of course, this is kind of giving us a moment to take note of the seeds that we know we've planted, that we're starting to see fruit come through. Maybe not as quickly. What I'm feeling is not as quickly as we would like. Maybe we felt a little bit of a delay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Nat. A little bit of a delay in really seeing as much as we'd like to see. We're thinking, okay, well, I've done X amount of work. I should be seeing X amount of results. However, if we're not seeing the results that we're expecting or desiring, there's always a reason. There's always something. Maybe it's a technique or a skill set or our energy, our self-care. There's always an element to look at. And sometimes that element could actually be being in stillness, sitting with yourself longer. Maybe you feel like you've been doing all the things, right? Like, oh, I have a great balance of, self-care, showing up for others, doing, committing to this project or to this work that I'm doing. However, again, if it's not showing up, there's more to be done. And sometimes whatever you're doing, I find more often than not, whatever you're doing when it comes to your self-care, most likely that is the area where you're falling short, your emotional and your spiritual health. For most people, that really is the thing. And next came out the moon. How cute. Pulling cards for the full moon, and we get a full moon card. So moon is talking about, very in line with Cancer being at home in the moon. The moon rules Cancer. So this coming next to the growth is taking note of what you've done so far, celebrating it, acknowledging, okay, there might be things that I can do, more of or better to get things going more, get things going faster, or, just hitting my goals. I really want to hit my goals. It's really important to set timelines and stuff like that, and also be realistic of how things fluctuate, things evolve, and being able to go with the flow on that. But right now, the moon is talking about, you've done a great job. You've created a foundation, and your fruits are starting to grow. They're starting to come out. And now is the time to, period. And you're a Cancer too, aren't you? Of course. So this is the time. Today, tomorrow, hey Nick. Today, tomorrow, and the next day. They say it's like 3 days before, 3 days after the moon that we're feeling it the strongest. However, we're moving into 2025 where the themes tend to be, from the cards that I've pulled thus far, making sure that you're holding enough space consistently for yourself to emotionally release and spiritually rejuvenate and reset yourself. So there's a lot of people that have been kind of just trying to go hard because we're in the beginning of the new year. However, again, I have mentioned this over the last few sessions. January is still winter. It's still a reflection month. It's still a be in stillness and take the time to look at what has happened, what you've learned. And again, with this Three of Earth, you've already planted seeds. They're starting to bear fruit. Like, you've done enough for now to really reevaluate what's going on with your self-care. Because most likely, even though you have created a strong foundation for fruit to come through, you were probably making sacrifices that you didn't necessarily need to make. And just looking at, did I really have to do that? Which brings me to my the next card that came out, Four of Earth, Security. So 4 is about stability, right? This is specifically, hey Tomas. 4 of Earth is specifically talking about whatever it is that you've created, even mentally, around what security means to you. Where are you honestly pushing more than you need to be pushing? This card had come up for a specific person earlier last week. Essentially talking about, you feel like you need to be, doing this many jobs or putting in this much physical work and effort to make money to cover things, but also for that extra. However, probably, a portion of that is not only not necessary, but is actually something that energetically keeps you in a loop. Maybe it doesn't pull you backwards, but maybe it keeps you in a loop. So for example, person A has 2-3 jobs, is grinding super hard, probably doesn't get enough sleep every night, has coffee first thing in the morning, grinds, makes decent money, right? Pays for all their bills, they got all that covered. Maybe they can, pay for 1 month in advance, nothing crazy. And then they have this extra money, right? That's like going out, getting turned, kind of participating in activities that can contribute to them dissociating and not being present in their body and with their heart, with their true authentic emotions. And they're never leaving enough space to acknowledge, hey, I don't really want to live my life working this many jobs. I don't really want this life, but this looks good. I have stability, I have security, and low key, because I don't really want it, when I do have free time and the extra money I make, I spend dissociating because I don't really want this life. That's person A, right? And let's even say person A makes the decision to let go of one of those jobs, and then maybe even the second one they go part-time instead of having 2 crazy full-time jobs, and they make enough to still cover their necessities. Maybe they decide not to get some extra indulgent things, they budget better, they just kind of are more present and make more conscious decisions that align with where they actually desire to be, which typically people don't really desire to be that dissociated, because there is something that they're running away from, and no one really wants to continue to run away. They don't want there to ever be anything to run away from. However, most of us have traumas or whatever that we need to be, that it's necessary for us to be moving through and figuring out how to release, let go of, heal from, just even to the point of just wanting to be present with themselves more often than not, right? And this is just on a collective level, especially in our society today. We have so much around us that can distract us from being present with what we're really feeling and what we really want, and mostly because we just feel like where we're at now and where we really want to be, there's just too big of a gap, it's too overwhelming, it's too intense, whatever. But also, especially if you have big energy, you will eventually get really sick of that loop. And right now is a time where a lot of us are really getting sick of that loop. And we don't want to be dissociating anymore. And we don't want to feel like we're kind of living paycheck to paycheck to a certain level, or just 100% doing that. So we go back, right, to person A has made different decisions because maybe they've seen person B over here who doesn't have as many jobs, and they have more space and time for themselves, and they actually, whatever little money they do have outside of their necessities, they put to things that contribute to them being present, to them moving forward. They make investments it's going to help them get out of this loop, whether it's financially, spiritually, emotionally. They pay for therapy, or they start paying for organic food or whatever, right? Like, there's levels, and it really depends on you and what really helps you want to be present in your body, want to be present in your own life, like every day, not just like kind of sometimes, maybe, we'll see, like that is so splitting for our psyche. It's splitting for our health, will decline, and being able to find moments of joy declines also. So this 4 of Earth is like, where are you giving energy and time and effort because you think you need it to survive, or you think you need it to kind of just get through this life that you've created, that you've built, that you don't really want, so that you can take that time, energy, money, etc., and put it into things that will get you to the life that you actually want. So these are the messages that are coming through for this full moon in Cancer tonight/tomorrow. Take note. Be grateful and proud of the seeds that you've planted, how things are bearing fruit. Take a moment, sit with yourself, sit with your body, nourish your body, journal, breath work, whatever it is that helps you to really tap into what you're truly feeling, and how much of it is tied to beliefs that are not serving you anymore, and make different decisions. Really look at, okay, what do I really need to take care of me and have my necessities solid, and then where else can I maneuver so that I can start investing time, energy, emotion, everything into what's going to get me to the life that I actually desire and get me out of this loop. Okay, so that was a little reading for tonight, and I will be posting that up either later tonight or tomorrow morning for the actual moon tomorrow. And Ace of Water came out at the bottom of the deck. So this overall is talking about, through this process, through this portal, if you make the decision to pay attention to what's going wrong and where you want to shift things so that the way that you're living contributes more to getting to where you want to be, is going to create a completely new, refreshing, blissful, amazing, emotional reality. It will be so much easier for you to tap into gratitude, fulfillment, joy, bliss, just period. But you really got to take a look at what's going on with your own emotions. You got to look at it. You got to look at it. Okay. Ooh. And a ooh.